Yeah, it's a bittersweet day. Start with the sweet part. Having Iafallo re-signed is really important to our organization. He's in my opinion, a Swiss Army knife. Feel good about putting him on the ice in every situation. We've talked a lot about him. It's amazing how many teammates came by me and said, "Hey, what's going on with him? We got to get him signed." All that type of stuff. So they really want him to be here, and he wants to be here. So check mark for that on the positive side. The other side of the coin with Karts, obviously, a real important player for this organization. A long time, big part of championships and great memories. Nobody wanted to lose him, but we also the organization has to manage its assets with expansion coming up and the opportunity to get pieces back for somebody that we had a real good chance of losing in the summer. I think that decision had to be made, and it doesn't make it easier for the players. I think the younger ones appreciated him, his leadership, his ability to carry himself professionally around the rink. He cared about a lot of those younger players. But for them, it's an opportunity and opens up ice more. It's the older players that probably it stings a little bit more. There were some tears in some eyes today, but he's going to get a real good opportunity. Everybody's happy for him. We'd like to see him make good on it and enjoy another championship out east.
Todd, if I can get right to it again, just the fact that it's kind of a long-term decision. Both were long-term decisions, but right now you lose one player and you're still in a race for a playoff spot. Message to the team right now with the changes in the roster, but yet have to play games right now.
Well, play. I don't think there's anything other than that message. Let's get going. We're right there, and yes, Karts meant a lot to the team, and he played his butt off every time he went out there. But we have others that can do that. Karts, with all due respect, he wasn't a 50 goal scorer that we lost. We have an opportunity to push here and to challenge and to grow and become a better team. And last year at this time after the deadline, we played some of our best hockey, and we lost quite a few important established veteran players. So, the message is pretty simple: play your ass off and earn what you get going forward. Don't lose anything. Don't give anything back. And, some of the players that didn't necessarily finish the year well last year didn't come back to training camp. And I'm not even sure that some of them are in the National Hockey League anymore. So earn your keep. It's pretty simple.
Thank you.
Next up is Zach Dooley.
Hey, Todd, Karts obviously wore a letter for you guys. With him moving on, will that fall to Dustin Brown? And if so, can you speak to the leadership qualities he has within the room, regardless of if there's a letter on his jersey?
Zach, you know what? Let's talk about. Let's re-ask that question tomorrow. We're still in the midst of deadline, getting prepared for a game. It's something that we need to talk about as a group, as an organization, and quite frankly, we haven't done that. So in fairness to everybody involved, but Brownie is a real obvious, simple choice, tremendous leader, but we need to talk about some things.
No problem. And looking at Christian Willan, who stepped in after a recent trade, now that you've had a chance to see him in a couple of games, couple of practices, what have you seen from him so far?
Mobility, a puck-moving defenseman. He's come as advertised. Not easy to come and play 2 minor league games and then get called up right away and play and try and figure out systems or structure, your teammates. But he's done a pretty good job. You can see that he can skate. He skates well with the puck, head up, and some good outlet passes. There's questions about his strength and that type of stuff. But if his legs get him out of a lot of trouble, you can play with some deficiencies. And we still have to make some judgment calls on him. So I think getting him in and getting him the opportunity, and he looks confident. It looks like he belongs. So good signs.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Todd.
Next up is Lisa Doman.
Yeah, Todd, the word underrated is used so much, it's almost become a cliche, but that's used so often about Alex Iafallo. In terms of the broader scope of his progression since you've been there, could you speak to that and how he is able to operate so well on that line where so many others have not been able to do so?
Well, first of all, he's a committed player. There's another word that we throw around like pennies, but he wants to get better. He's low maintenance. He takes responsibility for his game and he works on it. The second thing that comes into mind is players want to play with this guy. They, not everybody is requested as a line mate all the time, just for different reasons. This guy is, and I think that tells us as an organization an awful lot about him. The third is I think that you can trust him and put him in any situation. Is he always going to get the job done? Not necessarily, because nobody can. But his brain, his legs, and his sense take him into the right position to get the job done. And I think that's why players want to play with him. And he's one of those players coaches talk about, management teams talk about, maybe even fans. You really have to watch him for a while to appreciate them. And those guys are really, really valuable. You'll see today that teams will be trying to get those type of players for playoff runs.